2013 was a year in which many big stories around the world developed. One of these was the Libyan crisis, in which the United States consulate in Libya was attacked by rebels, which resulted in the death of 4 Americans, including United States Representative to Libya, Chris Stevens. Another issue that took place was the failure of the Obamacare website, as it was unable to house its mass number of people trying to gain health care, and as a result is deemed by many to be a failure. In addition to these, many other issues took place and are still developing across the globe, from the political fallout in Egypt, and even new developing issues, such as in the Central African Republic. But the question is, what will be the 3 biggest news stories of 2013? I believe they will be as follows: our relations with China, our current economic issues, and last, the Central African Republic. Now let me move to my first point, talk about China. China has truly come in on its own and become a world superpower. The Economist Factbook 2014 predicts that China's GDP is increasing at a rate of 7.8%, while the United States is down to 2%. This rate of growth has caused China to take the lead in the department. Further than just the stats is the people's beliefs. In a Pew survey conducted on July 19, 2013, across 38 nations, 47% of people surveyed believe that the United States will maintain its lead, while the other 53% believe that China will take over as the world's dominant superpower, or already has. Beyond China's strength, we need to look at our own relations with them. That survey went on to say that only 37% of Americans approve of the Chinese, and on vice versa, only 40% of the Chinese approve of the Americans. Another issue plaguing our relationship is fallout from Edward Snowden. The Wall Street Journal predicts that he leaked over 1,000 classified files detailing his espionage in a surveillance system conducted by the National Surveillance Agency. One of the countries which it surveyed was China. However, much of our relations will depend on how Max Baucus, a Democrat from Montana, does as the United States ambassador to China. He has experience, as he has served in Congress since the 1970s. China is strong because of its economic situation, which brings me to my next point. The United States economic situation. In December 2013, the United States Bureau of Labor reports that the unemployment rate fell to only 6.7%. However, upon looking closer, you see that only 74,000 jobs were created. This is falling well short of expectations, as Dow Jones Newswire predicted over 200,000. Beyond overall employment is underemployment. For example, if you had a master's degree and you worked at Burger King, this would be an example of unemployment. Underemployment. And plus, with underemployment comes low-paying jobs, such as they may end up being paid the minimum wage, a measly $7.25, which is nothing considering the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Living Wage Calculator predicts that to live in a large urban metropolis such as Washington, D.C., the price is $13. And if you have children, the price goes all the way up to $26, nearly 4 times the minimum wage. And with this feeling of despair, it has affected many people. In a Bloomberg report on January 4th of this year, only 64% of Americans believe that the United States no longer offers an equal opportunity for its people to get ahead. My final point will be an issue that's developing right now in Central Africa. The Salika, a predominantly Muslim group based in the north of the country, has stormed down and taken the capital. The Human Rights Watch reports that the Salika, quote, rule arbitrarily and without impunity, and they claim the Salika have been responsible for rapes on villagers, mass looting, as well as just basic attacks on the people. Going further to Central Africa, there are many issues also plaguing it, such as its massive poverty. As the author of the article I read stated that Central Africa is, quote-unquote, a landlocked nation and one of the least developed in the entire world. This, of course, is published in USA Today. Further adding to this feeling of instability, the leader of the Seleucida, Michael Giotto, has resigned, leaving more uncertainty in the air. However, there is some aspects of hope within the nation, as France has pledged to give $40 million in aid to the nation, as well as authorizing the deployment of 1,000 foot mobiles. This, of course, seems as an act of responsibility, as they themselves held the Central African Republic as a colony since the 1960s. Okay, now we look in review. The question asked was, what will be the biggest issues facing our nation in 2014? The issues were as follows. Our continued growth in our relationship with China, our staggering economy, and the Central African Republic deserting to a state of quote-unquote genocide. But will these stories turn out to be as big as they're believed to be? We'll just have to look over the coming months to see as these stories take form.
Oh my God.